afternoon, whatever you are, YouTubers around the world. My name is Mr. Sir Wappy Wop, and I am the host of Wrestling Geeks. And I'm going to get into last night's TNA's Lockdown 2013 pay-per-view, which was held in San Antonio, Texas. And I'm just going to say for the record, that was the company's largest crowd in history, and it was a pretty packed crowd. I'm just going to relate on the video that I actually seen by a member, Muggs. I'm going to give him a big shout out because I actually saw one of his videos. And which he has said that he had to be a wrestling fan again. And that's what I actually did when I watched this pay-per-view. I wasn't the kind of guy that's... I mean, I really was a fan. Like, I really wasn't with the politic kind of guy when it comes to wrestling. I really actually sat down as a fan and watched it. And I pretty much did enjoy this pay-per-view. Pretty much. And I'm just going to say for the record, Bully Ray is the new World Heavyweight Champion. And, wow, the president of Aces and Eights. What does this mean for TNA? And, I'm not going to give the whole rundown or the wins and losses here. I'm just going to talk about the pay-per-view itself. I'm not going to try to go too long with this here. I'm just going to say if the ending ended the way it was with Bully Ray being the world champion, then in my opinion, the Aces and Eights should have won the Lethal Lockdown match itself and let Angle beat Briscoe. That's how I would have booked it, but I don't have no complaints on this one because from start to finish, it was pretty good, actually. Besides the fact with Kenny King with his bocce, I mean, it's like he missed up a couple things in the matchup, but he still picked up the victory. And, as I'm really actually paying attention to TNA, I feel Kenny King shouldn't be an X Division. I feel he should be a heavyweight, like, more ground wrestler. But, in fact, I do enjoy watching Kenny King. I mean, I think, in my opinion, he should just switch his style just a bit. The stinker match of the evening had to go down with Joseph Park and Joey Ryan. I mean, that match was a total stinker. I mean, I did not enjoy it not one bit. Oh, man. I mean, that was just a waste of space. I mean, I'm glad both these stars actually got their shine. I mean, got their little 10 minutes of fame, but it's horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. But, the commentators. I'm going to talk about the commentators now. If I was the kind of guy to actually go by piece and eat bits about wrestling, I'm going to just sit there and say the commentator had to be the worst, lousiest thing I probably ever heard. Like, oh my God. But as I was hearing Taz, I was just listening to the commentators as a wrestling fan and not nothing else because I took it as an old school feel of the commentary. A lot of people really down at the commentary of the night, which the commentary was kind of lousy, actually, believe it or not. And it kind of, I mean, I really felt bad for Mike tonight. Just to be at that commentary table, it's like, how can he put up with this? Come on. I mean, you know, saying Taz actually played an okay heel commentator for some parts of the pay-per-view. Again, I looked at the commentary from Taz as an old school kind of feel, so I just took it as that. Robbie E, I'm going to talk about this, and for everybody, I'm going to say this right now. There's a great wrestling group on Facebook. It's called Impact Wrestling, where the big boys play. It's run by Steven Gowland. I think that's his name. If I mispronounce it, I apologize. And there's another guy named Brian Garvin. You know what I'm saying? They run a tremendous group, and I actually had a little debate about this Robbie E thing because, again, I'm not feeling Robbie E at all. Like, I actually said, and quote unquote, and I said this on that group, that I would pick Garrett Bischoff over Robbie E any day. Any day. I mean, if you look at that match, between Robbie E and Robbie T, I mean, I don't know when the last time Robbie T ever been in the ring that actually wrestled, if I could talk proper and correctly here. I feels Robbie E needs a lot of ring work done. I mean, I don't know why and how this guy got ring time and TV time, pay-per-view time, which I'm not down to any wrestlers, you know. I'm not downing or hating their credibility to get this shining. I mean, because they did something to get to that point. I mean, don't get me wrong, but come on. See what left we got in this time. All right, I don't want to run this too long, but Robbie E, I mean, he's just horrible in my opinion. I mean, what's next for Robbie E? Or basically, what's next for Robbie T? Or Rob Terry? And why did they even book him by saying he's from the Jersey Shore? And everybody knows, and they said it on the Impact show that he is from Wales. Come on, guys. All right, the Lethal Lockdown, I liked it. And plus, the tag team title match. You know, I loved it, that match, the tag team title match. Bobby Roode in Austin Aries. And I'm going to just say this, and I posted this in another group, and I got this from a great friend of mine for WrestleManiacs, the guy named Michael Dudley. He actually posted this as a comment. We was talking about it. And TNA does not do a lot of long-term contracts, as we all know. But in 2009, I guess Bobby Roode actually signed a 4 or 5 year deal, which he still has a year contract. Now, was this storyline or was this real? You know, I mean, it played a big part because when Roode came out and hugged A-Double and said, "Do you miss me?" You know, I mean, something to think about there. What is next for that, actually, and what is next for the tag team division? Okay, so for the World Heavyweight title, now we're going to talk about Bully Ray and Jeff Hardy. I mean, all of you Jeff Hardy fans, it was that time coming. I mean, if you didn't read or heard what's been going on online, you know, the FWC, the IWC, you know what I'm saying, people was disappointed of why Jeff Hardy couldn't go or didn't make the show in England, and he was the top company's champion, you know what I'm saying. Sure enough, he's a felon, a convicted felon, and it is what it is, like, unfortunately, but it was talks with Hogan wasn't comfortable with him being the champion, and then it's like, that just shows right there. Was it a great match? Yeah, it was actually, but again, the best line, Bully Ray. I mean, come on, guys, you know Bully Ray was not going to be a face that long. I mean, when he became a heel in TNA, he changed from Bubba Ray to Bully Ray. Why would you have a face by the name of Bully? Doesn't make sense. But to be the president of Aces and Eights, that probably shocked the world. Then the bottles of trash. People compare it to that as the NWO, you know, when Hogan turned heel with WCW. You can't really compare that. But some parts you can. I mean, I'll give you the trash part. But in more ways than one, you can't really compare that whole thing compared to the Hogan heel turn. I mean, you just can't.
Woo! Y'all gon' make me lose my mind. Up in here,